My name's Tom Frank, and I am the iOS trainer in the northwestern part of Vermont now. In the past, I've been on the board of directors, served 9-year term back in the 90s, and then I just finished up my second 9-year term last year, and I was past president for the last 2 years on there. And let's see, my visual impairment, I have optic atrophy, which means I have a bad optic nerve. It started going bad when I was about 20. First symptoms showed up, and I was in the Army at the time, so I'm service connected, though they don't quite know what caused the optic atrophy. It's, right now, let's see. I can see John only because he talks, and I wouldn't recognize him 3 feet away from me. So my vision is very limited now, and I use a white cane, and so it's gone from being able to drive a car to very gradually deteriorating over the years until now I can't see colors much at all, though I can see the color blue outside in the sunlight. This little iPhone, this little buddy of mine here, I sort of resisted the technology somewhat. I resisted getting a cell phone, and then I did get one about 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. I got a cell phone, and it really made life a lot easier. And it wasn't an iPhone, they weren't out then. The thing about a cell phone, and people don't realize, if you are always relying on somebody else for a ride, well, are they late, or did they forget you? Do they know where you are? All of those things, where the cell phone keeps you in communications with your driver, family, friends, and all of that. However, when the iPhone came out, originally it was not accessible. It didn't talk. And then finally, when Apple did come out with it, I got it, and my wife insisted that I get it. And she will say now it has made all the difference in the world to me. And it's really a game changer. I use it for the GPS, the global positioning, so I know where I am. Today, I was seeing somebody to do some iOS training, and my driver, and we were looking for it. I got up a program called Nearby Explorer. I put his address in it, and it gave me the directions there. But one reason we do the iOS training is because then if people haven't used that, they don't know the shortcomings either. So with the GPS today, it told me to go here, go down 6 miles, turn left, do a U-turn. It was kind of confused. It didn't know where it was going. So you do have to tell people it's a guide. It only helps you get where you want to be, and you have to use common sense. So, but the GPS helps me. I have another application on here called Ariadne GPS. And the nice thing about the smartphone, especially the Apple, this is an application made by someone in Italy. Actually, a whole team in Italy. They came up with it. Doesn't make any difference. It works on my iPhone. It just says points of interest. I can go someplace and then I can save that point. And what I do is have a summer camp on a lake, and the lake's 2.5 miles long and 1/2 mile wide, and I have points of interest about every 1,000 feet all the way around the lake listed. So when I'm out there paddling my kayak by myself, I can always find out where I am, and even if I'm across the lake, I can find my way home. So I use the iPhone all of the time. I use it for downloading, reading books. I use it for the news. I'm one of those obnoxious people. If you ask me a question, I'll say, oh, wait a second, I have an app for that. So it really makes all the difference in the world. And I also use it as a phone because sometimes around my house, especially in the wintertime and at the nighttime, I might be going out and getting the mail. And all of a sudden, I find myself somewhere I don't know where I am. So I can use one of my apps and it will point my way home. I have my calendar on here to keep my reminders. All of those sorts of things I use it every single day. And for other visually impaired people, I think once again, it's a game changer. The problem is it's new technology. And as we all know, for 20 or 30, you grow up with it. I, in fact, as a child, loved electronics, there weren't any computers then, personal computers, but I loved electronics, and that's what I did. So when it came to me, I was going to learn it. I had sort of a knack for it. However, other people don't. A lot of the people that we deal with are older, 60, 70, 80. They've never touched a computer in their life. So in order to use the phone, it takes training. It takes getting used to, knowing how to even turn it on, turn it off. And there are a lot of sort of gestures you have to learn to use the iPhone. So that's why we have the training. And I'm on the Vermont Board of Libraries, had a meeting Tuesday, and they handed out some paperwork. Inaccessible. I happened to have pulled out my iPhone. I took a picture of it, and it read the text to me of the pages that they had given to me. So it just happens to be in my pocket all of the time. I know how to use it. So every day of my life, I use the little thing all of the time. Yeah, let me turn the screen on so people can.
Selected. Search. Tab. 5 of screen curtain off.
I'll turn that on so I can turn the volume up.
Search. Selected. Search. Tab. Messenger. Today, Messenger is launching a handful of exciting updates to our camera experience. In this app, 1Password.
I think people will.
Handwriting. Lowercase. P. 9 app 205 apps.
I'll pull out Ariadne.
A. 25 apps. AAA. R. 3 apps. Ariadne GPS. Not rec. Opening Ariadne GPS. Not rec. Start monitoring. Button. Direction of move. 297 degrees northwest. Speed unavailable. Start monitoring. Where am I? Button. Start monitor. Add to favorites. Nearest favorite. VABVI. Button. 106 feet at 12 o'clock compass. Nearest favorite.
Okay.
VABVI. Button.
Yeah, this program that I have is called the Ariadne GPS. It's named after a Greek god. And I have points of interest where I have put in here, and it helps me find. Now, I happen to have
107 nearest favorite. VABVI. Button.
the Vermont Association of Blind and Visually Impaired. So if somebody's dropping me off, I can find the front door here.
127 feet at 12 o'clock compass.
And that's
131 feet at 12 o'clock compass.
It's where the driveway is. That's where I put. So as I'm turning the phone, it's vibrating in my hand. So I don't have the front door because they dropped me off at the front door. Why do I use this? Because when somebody else is driving me, or if I called a taxi cab, I could know if they were going the wrong way because I could always tell it's over there and tell them, oh yeah, it's 1,000 feet that way. And then
selected list of favorites tab. Edit. Button.
Places, any place I've gone.
Exit 14, J and Karsty's front door. Dorset Street and VA, Rose 10, Rose 20,
So I
Rose
can give
30,
directions.
Jasper Mind in Mill Road. Library
That's where I
Door,
used to
Rose
live.
25 to 50, Hannaford's Milton, Rose
What people
Rose,
might
Rose,
find
Rose,
interesting.
Rose 120, The Castle, 49. Park Avenue and Burton Hill Road. Hopkins Bridge Road 1-45, Rose 100.
Relatives in
Rose
Maine.
190, Rich Hill and Boundary Road, Route 35 and Rich Hill.
We'll get there. I have a couple hundred.
Newark train station. JetBlue
Newark,
860,
New
Rose
Jersey.
Rose 260, Biocello Restaurant. Italy apartment. 4,279.
When I was in Italy this September with my family, we were staying at a bed and breakfast, and
Italy apartment.
that's where the.
4,279.69
And let's see, how far is it?
Italy apartment. 4,279.69 miles at 6 o'clock campus.
Let's see. Oh, I didn't open. It's not telling me where it is. But it's 4,200 miles away. So wherever I go in the world, I put points of interest. It helps me get home.
Biocello Restaurant. 4th Cumone, Italy. 4th Anzio Restaurant. 4th Rome apartment front door. 4,000.
It's where we stayed in Rome.
Clifford Gate 812. 3,265. Rome. Clifford Gate 812. Burton Agnes Hall. 3,200. Clarion Hotel. Fine Arts Gallery.
And you used this to navigate while you were there?
Why I'm there. And this happens to be the Clarion.
Hotel. 3,199.04 miles at 1 o'clock campus.
That happens to be in Anchorage, Alaska.
Oh, interesting.
So when I was staying there, I know how far. It isn't buzzing. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't have a point of interest.
Fine Arts Gallery, Hope, Alaska.
In Hope, Alaska.
Kantishna, 3,191.02 miles.
But anyway, I use this
Often.
wherever I'm going. And it doesn't make any, because it's just points of interest, it's not going by a map. So I can use that. And I recommend this to everybody. For example, Jerry was having problems finding the dumpster from his condominium. I said, get Ariadne GPS, put the dumpster as a point of interest. So when he came out his door, he could point it. It's that way.
Wow.
Fine Arts Gallery, Hope, Alaska.
So Ariadne. So already today,
App switcher.
I have
Ariadne GPS.
I've used Ariadne GPS,
App Store. Active.
the App Store,
Actions available. Phone. Active.
phone. I made a couple of
Actions
phone
available.
calls.
Contacts. Active.
Contacts,
Actions
trying to
available.
find out where the person's address was. So I've used contacts already today.
Contacts. Contacts. Active.
That's it. And I closed a lot of other ones. And
App
the
Store.
GPS. Thinking I'd write a T.
T. 13 apps.
No,
TD
I have
Bank
13 apps that start with T. But
TED. TV tabs. Talking Tuner.
Talking Tuner's the fifth one, so I'll open that up.
Not.
So if I want to tune my ukulele,
Please play a note. App Store.
some are a little quirky. You have to close it out and then
App
bring
switcher. Talking Tuner. Active.
it back up so
Talking
it
to-
has a higher volume.
Talking Tuner. Talking Tuner.
But if I'm
Active.
trying to tune my ukulele,
available.
la,
Node. G is 6 cents sharp.
there you go.